Archaeological Nightmare. The Mystery of Göbeklitepe. Thousands of years ago, before writing, before cities, before even what most call civilization, something happened at the site of today's Göbeklitepe. Something so profound that it shakes everything we think we know about the human past. Close your eyes now and imagine traveling back 12,000 years. As the sun rose slowly over the arid hills of Mesopotamia, a young hunter, let's call him Tarek, awoke. His tribe was nomadic. They had no homes, no permanent order. Life was merely hunting and survival. But that day was different. The eldest of the tribe spoke of a dream, massive stone pillars descending from the sky. And people gathered around them. "We must go there," the old man said. "The gods are calling us." Tarek couldn't comprehend. In that world, the concept of a temple didn't exist. People settled first, then developed beliefs. Right? But here, everything would happen in reverse. The tribe walked for days until they reached a hill. There was nothing. Just rock, soil, and silence. But the old man knelt and placed his hands on the earth. "Here," he said, and they began to dig. Days passed with nothing. But on the third day, the edge of a stone appeared. Then another, and another. Years went by. These nomadic people, who barely knew agriculture and used simple stone tools, began to unearth giant pillars weighing tons. Tarek was now a man. What he saw defied the limits of his mind. Massive T-shaped pillars, carved with lions, snakes, scorpions, and foxes. Not just animals, but headless humans and alignments resembling constellations. These weren't just statues. They were messages. Most strangely, these pillars weren't just standing. They were placed in a conscious, circular order, as if planned by an architect. But there was no architect, no writing, no advanced tools. Tarek watched stones that 10 of the strongest men couldn't move, being carried as if by invisible hands. There were no wheels, no cranes, only human will and that strange whisper. "How are we doing this?" Tarek asked his master. The master looked at the sky. "We are not doing it. It is being done through us." This is where modern archaeologists are most shaken. According to science, first people settle, then they farm, then they build complex structures. Göbeklitepe reverses this. Here the temple comes first, the settlement follows. Perhaps humans gathered to believe, and this unity gave birth to civilization. When Tarek grew old, the structure was nearly complete. But then, something strange happened. The leaders gathered and decided, "We will bury this place." They buried this massive structure under tons of earth, consciously. Why? To protect it from enemies? As a ritual? Or to hide it from something? Perhaps it wasn't buried to be protected. Perhaps they were afraid of the power within. They imprisoned it beneath the earth, putting it into a deep sleep. This was not an abandoned site. It was a sealed one. Thousands of years passed. Empires rose and fell. Then, 12,000 years of silence was broken in 1994 by the strike of a spade. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary mound. But what emerged changed human history forever. Who moved these stones? How did they plan such complexity? Why the animals? And most importantly, why bury it? Was there a lost civilization? Did the knowledge come from elsewhere? Or is the human mind far older and more powerful than we thought? Tarek takes one last look. The pillars gleam in the moonlight. People silently fill the site with soil. Everything vanishes as if it never existed. But Tarek knows. One day, someone will return. And now we are here. looking at those stones emerging from the earth, realizing that the true mystery isn't what Göbeklitepe is, but who humanity actually is.